Hello and welcome to the Heart of Markness podcast. I am Mark, which means everything's going to be all right. Speaking of all right, you know what's all right? Bruce, Baker, and more. Or Baker, Bruce, and more. Or two-thirds light cream. In the 90s, 94 to be exact, 93 and 94, Gary Moore from Thin Lizzy and Gary Moore, fantastic guitarist. Never quite, that's not true. I was going to say he never quite broke through. He broke through just fine. What I meant when I was going in that direction was like he never broke through to the level of, Clapton, Beck, Page, Van Halen, Rhodes, but that's because that's the top. That's the mountaintop of the highest mountain. But he was a great guitarist, great talent. Unfortunately, he is no longer with us. Actually, nobody in this band is alive. That's wild. Here's what happened. Gary Moore did a blues album in the early 90s, maybe late 80s, early 90s, or around, let's say 1990, shall we? And just a nice blues album, good stuff. And in 93, he had an offer to sit in on a show in Germany for Jack Bruce, in Jack Bruce's band, because Jack lost his guitarist. I don't think he lost him like he died. I just think, I don't know. He didn't have his guitarist anymore, so Gary Moore sat in. It went really well. Jack and Gary hit it off very well and musically, and decided to get together and write some songs together for Gary Moore's next solo album. Well, things went so great that it actually kind of morphed into more a Jack Bruce album, because the songs just kind of ended up being more like, sounds like something you should sing, Jack. And having gotten together at a 50th birthday party for Jack Bruce, where he kind of did an all-star playing with a bunch of people, including Ginger Baker and Gary Moore, they sat in and jammed on some Cream songs, and it worked out. And then Jack was like, you know what? Let's get Ginger on board. And Gary was like, you two hate each other and you're both kind of dicks. Well, is this going to work? Yeah. Well, it did. It did. For one album. But that album was fucking great. And yes, it sounds like Cream with Gary Moore, because it is Cream with Gary Moore. That's not a slam. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. The album itself is fantastic. It was a hit back in the day. It got muted a little bit because it kind of was right in the middle of the wash of grungy stuff and the super clean hard rock that came out, the super corporate but not quite, you can't quite pin it down. Stuff like Bush. Remember them? And Live, and what else came in 93, 94? Pearl Jam was cranking out albums, but they had already come out. Nirvana came out, but that's when Kurt died too. So in among all that, I think it might have been slightly muted, this release. It still was successful, but it should have set the fucking world on fire, because it was great. Because Ginger Baker was an astonishingly good drummer. Unbelievably brilliant drummer. Titanic prick, but indisputably brilliant musician and arranger. I hadn't really realized that he did lots of arranging too. He was wonderful musically. Jack Bruce, fantastic bass player, fantastic singer, and what are you going to do? They get the two of them together, you've got two-thirds of Cream. Add Gary Moore in, and it was fucking great. So for this very short-lived project, because it didn't take long for Ginger and Jack to just, the whole reason that they didn't work out together every other time that they had been together, because they had worked together prior to Cream as well. I think in Graham Bond something. I'm just pulling that from the memory banks. So it was a very volatile mixture, very short-lived, because egos and personality clashes, but it was really good. So if you forgot about that album, get on Spotify, YouTube, whatever, and listen to it, because it will entertain you, man. It sounds like a Cream album recorded in the 90s, which has always been my biggest bitch about Cream. Not even a bitch, regret, is that they broke up like 1 year before England got really great recording technology. 1 year before they would have not had that 4-track compressed 60s sound that's like Minecraft graphics, as opposed to, man, if they had our Atari graphics, the original Atari graphics. It's like, yeah, it's great games, but the graphics, man, if it only came out a couple years later, it could have come out on, the Nintendo, and it would have looked much better. Well, that was weird. I was in the middle of my wonderful analogy of video games to recording technology, saying, wouldn't it be great to hear Ginger Baker recorded in full panoramic stereo and not just one channel of a 4-track? Woo! Now you can, and it's good stuff, man. You're going to dig it. Now, they did a very, very short tour. Volatile personalities, remember. And this show was Brixton Academy, and it is June 5th, 1994. Sounds really, really good. In some of the songs, there are parts where it kind of gets a little quieter and a little louder. But that's because it's almost like somebody's standing in front of the taper, that kind of thing. Like the quality, everything's still there. It doesn't sound bad. You may not even notice it. I notice it because it's something I notice, apparently. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to tell you, do I have it ready? Am I ready? Am I not prepared? I am prepared. Yay. Here is the set list for the show. Waiting in the Wings, City of Gold, I Wonder Why Are You So Mean to Me, Sitting on Top of the World, Glory Days, Naked Flame, Deserted Cities of the Heart, Can't Fool the Blues, High Cost of Loving, Tales of Brave Ulysses, holy shit, Rollin' and Tumblin', Why Does Love Have to Go Wrong? And then you got the encores, Politician, I Feel Free, and the last encore, Sunshine of Your Love. Really fucking good. Gary Moore, Jack Bruce, Ginger Baker. Gary's on guitar and vocals. Jack's on vocals and bass and, I don't know, harmonica, I think, in one song. Ginger Baker, drums, and Tommy Eyre, E-Y-R-E, keyboards. All right, friendos, what we're going to play now is we're going to play the show opener, Waiting in the Wings, off their album. And, oh, tell me it's not a Cream song. That fat bass line is going to sound so good. You're going to be happy. And Ginger Baker right behind it. Oh, tasty. Tasty stuff. Enjoy. I am enthused. Can you not tell? Okay, friendos. Hey, 8 minutes have gone by. Let's listen to some music. Here you go. June 5th, 1994.
was called Waiting in the Wings. This was a new one. It's called City of Gold. You've heard that one,
right? That was awesome. Didn't that make you happy just to hear that? Because Cream was fantastic, and this band is fantastic, was fantastic, because they all dead now, which is weird. That was great. That made me so happy to hear. I've listened to that song a million times. First when I downloaded the show, then I listened to the show just to listen to it because it's awesome. And then it was like slowly through my caveman brain, you should do this for the podcast. I should do this for the podcast. So then I listened to it with a critical ear. And then I threw it in Audacity and listened to it to get the levels right. And then I listened to it now as I did this. So it's a lot of listens, man. And it stood up to all those listens because it's good. You know what else is good? More songs. So let's plow through, shall we? Ah, yes. Tales of Brave Ulysses. This song is awesome. It's off of Disraeli Gears, the Cream album. And basically, it's kind of like the first iteration of White Room in many ways. It's that same basic chord progression, that descending chord progression, and a wah-wah. It's an awesome tune. And if you listen to it on Disraeli Gears, blah, you'll know what I mean by the limitations. They're the limitations of the recording technology that the band had, because it was from 1967, which, you know, there wasn't much you could do. The Beatles did Sgt. Pepper, but that was a fucking miracle. And the reason that Sgt. Pepper is Sgt. Pepper is because it's like a technological marvel meets genius, like how they got man to the moon with, you know, computers as powerful as a pocket calculator, you know, because geniuses were behind it and used it and optimized it. That's Sgt. Pepper, which has nothing to do with Cream other than Cream is not Sgt. Pepper, and they never had a Sgt. Pepper moment, and they just weren't terribly well produced. And it breaks my heart because I love hearing that fat bass with Room to Breathe and Ginger Baker. Wide stereo spectrum. I would, you know, he's, you want to hear Ginger Baker recorded right? Listen to the Public Image Limited song, Rise, with Johnny Rotten or Johnny Lydon. That's Ginger Baker on that album, and that album is the shit. But now back to our story. Let us listen to Tales of Brave Ulysses. Once again, Baker Bruce Moore, Brixton Academy, 1994, June 5th. Enjoy. This is going to knock your goddamn socks off. If you are not wearing socks, put some on right now. Thank you. Enjoy.
to the heartland of the wind. Back boost and vocals. Anything else? Oh, you're really nice. Thank you very much.
I'm not even mad at that dude in the left-hand channel that's just like, yeah, yeah, because I would have been doing the same thing. He was so happy when he heard it was Tales of Brave Ulysses. I was too. That was fucking great. And Gary Moore is a brilliant guitarist because those are big shoes to step in. But in order to fill those shoes, you have to be able to play and improv and jam and solo freeform for minutes upon minutes upon minutes and not have it be boring as fuck or hacky where you just sit there and do like a hammer on for 30 seconds there and everyone goes woo. So he didn't do that. That was great and it was fun to play and it made me happy. It made me happy to hear. And hopefully it's making you happy, because if you're not happy, then I have failed you. Did I fail you? Was I bad? Don't put me back in the box. All right. One more song. All right, friendos, one more song. You can do that, right? Excellent. Sunshine of Your Love, the second encore, the very, very last thing they played. And it wails. This is a good band. I hope you enjoy this. This is good stuff. I try and provide you with the best. All right, well then I should shut the fuck up and play the best, right? Right, here we go.
When life goes in tired to give my love, to give you my constant love, be with me, darling, be with me, so long to be where I'm going, to the sunshine of my love. This kind of makes me happy.
I could have trimmed off 3 minutes of that and been fine. But that was still awesome. That was still awesome. What an arrogant thing to say. I'm sorry. Yes, yes, let me tell you how that could have been done better. Ginger Baker, Jack Bruce, and Gary Moore. Who are three people who have been more successful in life than you, Alex? Hope you liked it. That was really cool. I like that project. I like this concert. And you will be able to get this concert, probably not tonight if I'm being honest, at heartofmarkness.com. You can get this entire show if you want it for free, because that's how we do things here. So I hope you liked it. I will be back Thursday with a Led Zeppelin show, because I do Zeppelin and Zeppelin adjacent stuff on Thursdays. Some good stuff came out. A Jimmy Page show, a new source for Jimmy Page in Manchester, November 26, 1988. Of course, it's one I've already done. Nice new source, the fourth source for that show, and it sounds wonderful. Great clarity. I'm going to listen to that tonight probably. And a Led Zeppelin show that I already forgot about that came out. It's one that's been around, but it's something from 69. I'm trying to buy time here while I frantically see what it is. Led Zeppelin. Hey, is that it? Must be. Yes. July 25th, West Allis, Wisconsin, Wyoming, something. Let's see what the info is at. Wisconsin State Fair. Midwest Rock Festival, July 25th, 1969, from first generation source, reel to reel. So, first gen, reel to reel. If you're going to have a first gen, reel to reel's as good as it's going to get. It sounds great, and we're going to hear it Thursday, unless I flake and do something else. But we shall see. All right, friendos, I am going to cut this mercifully short and bid you a good night. Be good to yourselves and each other, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.